All right, we're going to call the Administrative Committee meeting to order. Let's rise and we'll, Mr. Ross, would you lead us in invocation? And
Yes, sir.
Mr. Baker, would you lead
Yes,
us in
sir.
the pledge, please?
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have given us, O Lord. O Lord, what a beautiful morning it was, O Lord. Lord, we ask that you please provide protection for the parish, O Father. Give us the wisdom and the knowledge to lead, O Lord. In your Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Follow me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have a president's report, Mr. Jones?
No, sir, not today.
No president's report. How about a legal counsel report?
Just a very brief one. I just wanted to mention that you'll see 3 resolutions on here to hire special counsel. And going forward annually, when you retain special counsel, those contracts will have to be approved with a rate and an estimated budget and submitted to the AG's office. I understand at this time there is a consideration as to whether or not those will be required to be submitted annually, but at this present time, or the last opportunity I had to talk to the AG's office about it, they were requiring annual renewals. I do have another call into them to see if there's been a policy change on that, but you'll notice those on your committee meeting, this report. There's 3 resolutions in that regard, and they will continue to be that way until when and if there's any policy change by the AG's office on that issue.
Okay. We have a call for additions and deletions to the agendas. I have one addition to the Administrative Committee. We'll make it item number 13. Is to approve waiving the tipping fee for the Faith and Fostering, which is a nonprofit, for disposal of some trees into the Monday landfill burn pit. Do I hear a motion, we add that?
I'll make it.
All right. Mr. Latham, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Clark. All right. All in favor?
You got a roll call?
You have to roll.
Roll call. Aye. Mr. All right, Ms. Burrell?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Roll?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
I guess we,
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Okay. All right, that's our addition. All right, we're down to guest and public comments. All right, we have Mr. Lauren Markive, update on our detention facility.
Ready for me?
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and give you an update on where the project stands at this point. If you'll indulge me a little bit, I'd like to give you a little bit of background information on the existing facility, which then helped guide us in the design of the new facility. Your existing facility is now 40 years old, and most of the systems in it, useful life is 30 years. So you've been operating that system by patchwork and on borrowed time for a while. It certainly does not meet the current standards for detention jail facilities. The building was originally designed for housing 135 persons, and when Rodney Arbuckle was sheriff, he asked the state fire marshal to increase that to 150, which helped with the capacity, but it didn't help with the support components like the kitchen and the laundry room and so forth. So it started to overload those systems when you have 150 people in it. So we've designed the new facility for 150, to start off with, but it's really designed for 180 plus. And the reason why I say plus is there's 2 dormitory cell blocks that can have extra beds in them and still meet the capacity requirements for the overall facility. The project is currently out for bid. Bids will be received by the jury on May the 8th at 10 a.m. We have a mandatory pre-bid conference scheduled for April the 29th at 10 a.m. We would certainly like any of the jury members who have the opportunity to please come to the pre-bid so you could kind of hear what the contractors are asking questions about and what they think about the bid package.
Just restate that date and time again, the date and time.
The bid date is May 8th at 10 a.m. Bids are due, and they will be opened and publicly read aloud.
The pre-bid was
The
April?
pre-bid is April 29
Okay.
at 10 a.m.
Okay.
And that pre-bid will be here in this room.
Okay.
The facility went through a couple little minor changes from the last time we bid it to where it is now. The sheriff informed us that state law changed in how they deal with 17-year-olds. Some 17-year-olds, under certain circumstances, can be locked up in an adult facility. When the facility was designed, there was a cell block that was designated flex space, and it had 12 beds in it. And that intent of the flex space was you could either put men or women in it, depending on how that capacity changed on a daily basis. You would not mix the 2 sexes in that cell block. It would either be men or women. But it now also gives the sheriff the opportunity to put 17-year-olds in there for short periods of time if he needs to. There is a 28-bed women's cell block. There's the 12-bed flex space. There's a 12-bed maximum security cell block, 2 48-bed medium security cell blocks. There's a 20-bed outside workers dormitory and a 12-bed trustee dormitory. Do y'all have any other questions or anything about, well, the first phase, well, I make comment, the first phase of the project was handled by the jury, and that the cleaning off of the site of the buildings. The last time we bid the project, that demo was all in the overall package. So the contractors won't have to deal with cleaning of the site before they can start work. And I'm sure y'all are aware too, in conjunction with this project going on at the same time as the bidding of the sheriff's office, and there is a mandatory pre-bid tomorrow at 11 o'clock in this room for the sheriff's office, if you're interested in knowing what's going on with the sheriff's project.
At what time? What time you see tomorrow?
It's at 11. There's aren't any other questions, and
Okay,
thank y'all.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, I'll make one other comment. We, at this point, have, we have 5 prime bidders that have picked up documents. One of them was the low bidder from last time, and 2 others that are on this list also bid the project last time.
If I may, before you go,
Yes.
you had mentioned that the life expectancy or the lifespan of a jail is like, you said 30 years?
Most of and it's mainly the equipment, like the air conditioning system, that type of system.
Oh, you said
the
40.
air handlers and ductwork and so forth. The facility's 40 years old. But
Okay,
those systems usually last about 30 years. We did a major renovation of the plumbing system in 2018. That was a big project. The sewer piping under the cell blocks is exposed in the sally port on the lower level, and a lot of the pipes were dripping and so forth, which is really a bad condition. So all of that was pretty much all redone in 2018. So as far as the sewer lines are concerned, they're in pretty good shape now. But the air conditioning system is not.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Holmes,
Yes.
if I was wanting to make comments before we got kicked off. Stacy, my replacement, he's already been sworn in. I was going to welcome him to this seat, but I'd like to say a few comments, and I don't know, legal counsel may want to tell me I may have to finish this committee meeting, or
I would say because you started this committee meeting and have already voted on an agenda item, that we should finish this committee meeting. And
okay.
make the
So once the
transition
committee
after that.
meeting's over, we can, okay. Okay, that'll work. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, guest and public comments, number 2, Delbert Terry. Mr. Delbert?
Thank y'all for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Jones had asked me to come over. I presented this to the library board last month in February, a couple months ago. And this is basically a makerspace facility that we'd like to build. I'm just gonna kind of walk you through it in case you don't really know what a makerspace is. So it's really just a community-driven space, and it offers all the different tools, the technology, the resources. Is it working? Can you close it real quick? Yeah. All the way? Close it out.
While we're waiting, I will say this. When Mr. Delbert presented this to us at the library board, man, it was so fascinating that I had to have him to come and show it to the jury. And I think after his presentation, there's going to be something I'm going to ask of the jury as well. But I think it's spectacular, and we had to have him to come and share it with us.
There you go.
There it is.
There we go.
Is he going to talk again, or are you going to do the talking? Mr. Delbert?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, here we go. So if you're kind of familiar with makerspace programs or not, I can kind of tell you that it's just basically a sort of a community-driven space that we have all kinds of different people that come in. It has to do with tools, technology, resources for creativity. It helps with skill building. It's a sort of a collaboration. All ages can be a part of it. So really, what the goal is behind the Makerspace program is we want to create this hub where all the community can come in. It can be a learning center for all ages, and it will be a learning center. So it sticks with the mission that we have as far as the library. Really, it's going to be a launching pad for technological exploration. Technology is moving. Either we can stay with it or we can get left behind. And this facility will give us a chance to make sure that our community and our citizens know all about it. So it's really like a STEM, you hear STEM, this is more of a STEM, so it'll cover things like science, technology, engineering, art, math. It'll provide sources for skill development. It'll foster engagement with our community where people can work together and encourage innovation. So here it is. So I just kind of sat down one day, and it won't look like this. I just kind of played with it and came up with this. So this just sort of gives you an idea of what the studio might look like. And here's what's going to be in the studio. So there'll be, one of the things that'll be inside of it will be a music and video studio. It'll have all the equipment that anybody would need if they wanted to come in, if they wanted to sort of learn how to do the music. Unfortunately, the video, we couldn't get it to work. So to me, that's the best part of it, because you don't have, listen to me, you look at that. But anyway, this was supposed to be a really cool, I wish it would play for you. It won't, sorry about that. So anyway, it's a picture of a studio when somebody actually comes in. So the studio will be soundproof. They'll come in, they'll have the equipment, they'll bring their equipment with them. They'll be able to record music. And once they record music, the software will be there that they can create their own album, I guess you could say, their digital music. Just think if you have somebody here that's been told they got the it factor, but they can't make it to American Idol, right? Well, this opens the door for people in our parish to step in there and do that themselves. Not only will they be able to do with the music, they can do video. You may have somebody that does a podcast. And you know podcast takes equipment. And anybody can do it, but not everybody has the equipment to do it. What they'll have, this studio will have a spot where they can come in, soundproof, get in there, spend about an hour creating their creating their podcast, record it, and then publish it. So that's one thing about it you can do. So there's all kind of things that we're going to do. So the goal is, for us, is to make sure that we become a testing center. So there's places all over the United States that offer this, right? Special programs, special companies. And what we need to do is we're going to get with these companies and let us be the ones that give this test. So when they don't have to go to Shreveport, they don't have to go to another state or over to Dallas, they can come to DeSoto Parish and get certified. So look at the ones in here. There's the Adobe Certified Professional. There's just so many of them. But what it does, you can even, it's going to have another part. I almost forgot this. I'm a little bit nervous, so give me a. But one of the things it has, not only the music, but you could actually come in and record a movie, right? So just think if we were to have our own short video, our video contest here in DeSoto Parish. You know, we can come in, don't go to Shreveport, come to DeSoto Parish, right? That's where we want to do it at. So we can have a competition. Everybody can create their own movies, and that we can just invite everybody in. They create their movies, they make their movies, they're short film, then we have a short film festival. And it would be fun to see people in DeSoto Parish taking part of that. So they will be able to do this in that studio. So there's all kind of events, all kind of programs we'll do, all kind of classes. The next one is a drone studio. Of course, you know that the drone studio, the drones are it now. It's one of the most popular things. So just think about this. What if we, here in DeSoto Parish, could train people and actually get their FFA pilot license? We'll have instructors come in. They'll be able to teach them how to get their license. And when they leave here, they can go to real estate. They can go. They have the military uses it, the police use it, the real estate, construction. You know, one of the things I had here this was the cutest one of all. I wanted to show you this. Here's a little girl in Texas that kind of fell. She walked in her sleep and she got lost. And a guy from South Louisiana who had his FFA pilot license found out, took his drone, went up to South Arkansas, and within 30 minutes, because it has this heat sensor, right, this thermal sensor on it, it was able to fly around, and finally it caught where she was at. And there she is laying right there. It's a cute video. But anyway, you'll just have to trust me on that. So it's a really cute video, and that thing just goes over the top, and it sees this red, and he was able to keep the drone right there till the people could go and find her. So just think if they wouldn't have had that. So here's a guy that had that technology. So just think about it. I mean, people in our parish could come into this studio and learn how to do that. We'll have the drones there. We'll have the practice in there. We'll teach them how to fly. We'll teach them how to land. And we'll have a good space to do that in. So there's all kind of certifications you can get in that. We'll have all kind of competitions. We'll have courses that they can fly and have fun with it. So that's one of the other studios. And then the third studio, as we go in slow motion here, is the Sewing and Circuit cricket studio. So this is a place where we'll have sewing machines, we'll have crickets, we'll have not the kind that hop, but the one that actually make things with. So they will be able to come in here and do that. So they'll be able to. You can actually, if you want to start a business, it's a place to do it, but you can get your license. Just think if maybe a grandma and a granddaughter want to come and make a quilt together, they want to sew together, they can come and do that. Just reserve the time to come in and do that. There's just so much that you can do with this, and there's all kind of programs that we're going to offer all kind of certifications, again, will become the testing center so that they can come and actually get certified to do these things. So then there's the programs, and then this is the one I know y'all been waiting on, and unfortunately, Mr. Jones, this one didn't work. This was my favorite video. Somebody created this video, this robot, and it's life size and it's dances, right? So they were able to come into a studio and actually put this robot together, and then they used the software to make it, to tell it what to do. So it put the code in there, they coded it, they told it what to do, they put all I don't know the word is. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter. But they told it what to do, they programmed it, they said go, and it did it. Now just think about this for a second. We're talking about people here in our parish that may not have access to this. They may be on the outskirts thinking, I'll never have that, I never can get that kind of equipment. And all of a sudden, we create a studio for them to do that. So that's the other thing, we'll have robot wars. I know you've probably seen that. They'll be able to come in and bring their robots, build them, fight them. We'll have a sting for that. They'll have little obstacle courses they can go through. There's all kind of education that we'll offer, all kind of certifications. There's all kind of programs, all kind of little workshops that we'll do for them that they'll be able to come. We'll teach them. And one thing that we're hoping to do, and I believe this will work, we'll be able to sort of collaborate with the local organizations like the 4-H, because they have certain things. They don't have the space, they don't have the equipment. All of a sudden, we're working with 4-H to be able to do that, and we're right there, so all they do is bring the kids over and be a part of that. The Innovation Studio is just basically, it'll have 3D printers, it'll have laser printers, it'll have laser cutters, it'll have all those things in there. So this is one of them where they actually have a board there. You program it and tell it what it needs to do, and that's the same thing with the 3D printer. I mean, you can tell a 3D printer, and it can make that, like a little, it's just that simple. Well, not really simple, because you've got to design the thing. But once you design it, and all of a sudden, it'll print it. Same thing with the wood. You tell it what to do, and it prints it. If you tell it to cut it, it'll cut it, so you can cut shapes out to do that. So that's another thing that we'll have, this studio will be able to do. And then again, it'll have all kind of certifications that you'll see. And then I'm trying to get to the stuff that's just you're gonna knock you out of your seat here. So here's the circuitry studio. This is the part where I was talking about the robots, where you'll be able to come in. You'll have like the Raspberry Pi. And the Raspberry Pis, you can pretty much create your own circuit where you can tell. And we'll start off with, you can do simple stuff like do this, and it lights a light bulb. Or it can get all the way to the advanced part where you can tell, you can create the robot and then begin to use this Raspberry Pi and to make it do the things that you need it to do. So there's a lot of things with the circuitry thing, and I saved the best for last because I know this is going to be exciting for you. So here it comes. Are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, here we are. And the last one is a culinary studio. Right, isn't that neat? Just think about that. One of the parts is we have people in our parish that would love to be able to get certified, to be able to go into a kitchen that can have the chef. Have that out of the way. I mean, why go to Bossier and go to that? Why come to DeSoto Parish where we will have the equipment, we'll have everything they need. They come in, they're a part of that. We'll have classes to teach them, not just adults that are trying to get their certification to be able to get a job, but even kids, man. We need to teach our kids to cook. Amen? I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to say amen, but you know what I'm saying.
Amen.
So anyway, let's just say if you wanted to start a food truck business, this is where you start. You begin to work with these studios and you begin to get that license. So it's just a lot of really neat stuff that you can do. I think it would be a great addition to our parish.
Yeah.
The good thing is, to me, it would probably take, the architect's here, he could probably tell you better than I can, but just looking from what I did, it would take about 2 years to do it from first all the way to the end to get all the stuff done. So here's the big thing, the cost. What is it? So I'm just using the stuff that's available to me. I am no expert. That's why there's such a range here between 2.8 and 6.1 million. That's the range. I'm not sure how much it would be, but from the software that I use. But the good thing is the funding's already secured. The funding's there. We wouldn't have no additional tax burden. It's just a wise investment into the infrastructure. And the conclusion, we're almost done. Here we are. The thing is, DeSoto Parish Library has a chance to create this makerspace. It's not just a project, it's a legacy. You have a chance to leave a legacy for our parish. The facility will be equipped for citizens with skills, tools, opportunities they have for today's market. They'll be able to leave that and go into the market. The funding's in place. The vision is clear. The time to act is now. Together we can take a big step, because here's the thing. The future's in your hands. Really, it is. You guys are the people of this parish that make tremendous decisions for it. So it's really in your hands. And the question is, will we step into it? That's the key. We can let innovation, we can let technology jump out in front of us and take off, or we can grab a hold of it and say, you know what, innovation, we're going to shape the future here in DeSoto Parish. We're going to make a difference here in DeSoto Parish for our citizens. We're going to open doors for our citizens to come in and take a part of it. So I think that's it. Yep, that's it. I'm done.
That's really
So I'm sorry about the videos. I know that would have really blowed your mind, but
Can we have the video, can we have your PowerPoint sent to us if we want it?
yes, I would be more than glad.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yep. And I've got a 480-page book I can send you if you're having trouble sleeping at night. And it tells all about the program.
Okay, so.
So, Mr. Delbert, now, how much would it cost a child to go to be certified in one of those programs? How much
Oh,
would it
it would cost hundreds, and especially with the culinary part, it could get up into thousands, because then you're going to a specialized school.
cost? Okay, how much would it cost them to be in our
Well,
our
really,
students? How
It
much
wouldn't cost that much at all. I mean, we would have the equipment, they may have to pay like a fee for just to cover the cost, but maybe
Okay,
$100, I don't know.
okay.
Not bad. I mean, it's just to me, what we're doing is we're trying to return the investment. You know,
Okay,
they've invested, it's a return on their investment.
okay. So how much would y'all have to come and ask the police jury for? That's the $24,000 question.
How much we need to ask from you guys?
Right.
Zero.
Zero.
That's the key. This is a win-win situation for you. You
Right.
can't lose here.
All right.
I just have,
Yes, sir.
why can't y'all build it quicker?
Sure.
I'm ready for it now. No.
Oh, good. Thank you.
I just want to say one thing. I was really excited each time you went into a different area, because being in the school system, and my mind is like, okay, field trips.
Yes.
Especially for our young people, just everything that you have there is the future, the robotics, the FAA, getting licensed. I want to get a pilot license, so that would probably be my first stop. So I'm excited. I was just excited just listening to it and watching the video.
Well, one of
So
the goals is to try to, since we're so far out, maybe we can get with the school system, they can reserve the time, bring the kids over, and then let them be a part of that. So, yeah.
I really like this. Okay, with the studio, would they pay for studio time, right? Or,
No, they wouldn't have to pay for that. It would just reserve the time.
oh,
Okay, just reserve,
Yep, just reserve the time, right.
okay.
So they can call and say, I'd like to reserve that room for an hour, and they'd come in and reserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be like reserve a sewing machine, not like the whole room, but maybe just, but like if
Okay,
the
I got
4-H wanted to bring a set of kids, or like the school system, they could reserve the room for all their kids.
Okay.
so within that 450-page document, you have also, I guess, put in place for individuals that will be working.
Right, all that's in there, the staffing that we would need to run it, the cost of that would cost us. So some of that cost that you saw, that's built into that.
Okay.
So there's an
good.
ongoing cost, and then, of course, the initial cost. of
So is that
building.
450 pages already printed?
It is, I've got it right over here. This is-
I'll get with you because I'm curious to look through it. I really
Oh,
am.
I will send you a copy. I don't mind, because it has the policy,
Okay,
you know, the part that we want to be safe, make sure that,
okay,
in the training that they'd have to go through before they use it.
okay. Well, I really enjoyed your
Thank
presentation.
you.
Mr. Bill, he's sitting in the back. Stand up, Mr. Bill. He's also, I was assistant manager of the library board.
Okay.
Thought you was hiding from me, huh?
Yeah, he's hiding back
Caught
there. Thank y'all very much.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Mr. Terry.
Mr. Holmes, I wanted to ask him a question. I thought he was saying you were there. I thought you were
Oh,
saying
no,
you.
no.
On those programs where grown-ups be able to do those as well?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
it's for everybody, yes.
Gotcha.
You just
'Cause I've done sewing, I've done music, drone, all that, so that'll work. That'll work right up my alley.
I am getting my license.
Well, thank you guys so much
All
for
right.
bringing it to us.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Glenn Coglin with Swift Fiber.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I will introduce myself, but just wanted to say that was two good presentations. The big thing that I think we can even bring to both presentations is internet. What I'll be talking about today is broadband internet that we are coming into the state of Louisiana. I know y'all have heard about different parishes is already proceeding with it. We've got some surroundings. I got Natchitoches Parish now that's even kicked off. But before I do get started, I'd like to introduce, I got Taylor Spangler. He is a project manager as well for Swift Fiber. I'm a project manager as well, and I have John Craven, who is our land acquisition man. He'll be actually acquiring land for rental purposes for our cabinet spaces that we will be having to acquire. I think now DeSoto's showing 2 or 3 different spots that we will actually have for as cabinet space. But I want to thank the opportunity for us coming today. Our biggest goal in here today is to let y'all know what's coming, answering any questions that we have, things that we've seen in a problem in our past with parishes that I know y'all have heard about locally, that was a problem on Taylor and myself that wasn't able to get out front and reach you guys and let you know that we were coming in, get with the different water parishes, because it is a big undertaking. And the biggest thing that we learned, I think, is just not acquiring just a traumatic amount of drill rigs and contractors in one parish. I think that's been our number one key to success in the last 3 to 4 months. It is now with Natchitoches Parish that we're kind of keeping that on a reasonable amount to where everyone can manage it. We have a lot of water districts here in DeSoto Parish that I've seen and learned about. We work great with USIC and different gas people, but that's the biggest thing that we pushing now as far as the communication with our contractors to these 3 main focal people, as far as the main big ones in these parishes is the water districts. I do and understand, know that a lot of them, water systems is real old. They may not know where they even at for one part. So that's the biggest part of what we've kind of done as a company to help manage that for the Water Association, is to kind of spread out our resources throughout Louisiana, not just, to where we ain't hitting DeSoto Parish, with a bombardment of contractors. It's been a real good success that we've shown in Natchitoches Parish now as we proceed. But like I said, it is a broadband that's funded by the government that is coming into rural American. I would say that we would be hoping to have internet at these 2 presentations we just have. We will have design coming out to where we will show it, but the main big focus throughout Louisiana is actually what it is to hit your rural, that is with little or no internet at all. We will hit all of those places for sure. I can't get into money pricing because they won't let me, for one. I'd like to, but sales will be involved in that. I do know and have heard that it's real affordable. A lot better than what I'm paying in Mississippi for Starlink or something like that, but it is a good system. We are having good success on it, far as working with our parishes and all now, with our downsizing contractors and all. But really, we are just here to answer any questions that you all may have, in our upcoming scale. We're looking, I can't nail down you a spot on the day that we actually are coming, but it will be in the near future. We are working already with Miss Cynthia and all on permitting of our parish roads and our road crossings, and different resources as we'll continue to reach out to these water sources as well. But I'm gonna just say that we'll be looking at something in 2 to 3 weeks probably. Wouldn't you think, Taylor? Somewhere thereabout. We will get out, and I do have some that can be getting KMZ files that any of you guys, if you possibly would want something, you know, that's something that we will definitely get to our water departments, USIC gas people as well, to give them access to these routes that we got in due time, not just wait here, hey, we coming next Monday. They will have those routes to where they can see. We can and will and do work with them in when we can on far as maybe, you know, changing a route or something. A lot of it is engineered and pre-designed, so we try to work through the biggest that we can. But I'd like to open the floor with anything far as questions that any of you may have, be glad to answer.
Mr. Fuller?
Thank you. How long is the process, I mean, does this normally take for a parish this size?
Real good question. It's going to linger a little longer since I've said we downsize it in our rig count. I don't know, DeSoto County hasn't been fully designed yet, so I really and truly, I don't know the total footage that we are looking at today.
Yes, sir.
It is a lot designed, it is a lot that we can even get started working on, but I do know, I'm pretty sure of the whole parish getting designed, and it's not at this point. Answering your question a little better, maybe. Taylor, far as kind of what we look at on an aspect, I like for a rig to average 1,500 foot a day. We talking about, when I say we downsizing, my goal is to kind of keep it within 20-something drills, maybe within this whole parish. That be with 2 or 3 contractors as a whole. So in saying that, you know, you're looking at, you know, around, well, about 7,000 a rig, and that's a week. And then you're talking about, you know, you're looking at 14, 15,000. So it'd be a few months for sure, as we get started.
So you all will start in the rural areas first?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They really need
Far
that.
as Mansfield City, right now, I don't see of any design. I think of what design I have seen so far, correct me if I'm wrong, Taylor, we're gonna be west of 114? 171, south of 84.
Okay, say that again, west,
171.
West of 174,
171.
171,
South of
okay.
south of 84.
And I can speak a little bit on the time frame and the way
Come on up
things-
here and sit down. See, I've been trying to get him up here.
With the way things are designed, within the parish of what's actually comes first, you know, it's like Legos. You gotta build this before you build that. And so that's what we have to do within the parish. We have to build our backbone that connects our other parts. All right, with doing that, the way the funding works, so we're funded by the state government and the federal government. So we're both combined. So federal government has their regulations on, hey, you have to be here by this date. State has their regulations, hey, you gotta be here by this date. So a lot of the stuff we're building is state funding, state funded areas right now. So that deadline that we have to have these state funded areas built by is November of 2025. So
Okay.
we call those the gumbo areas, which is the main priority for the state. Now, the federal deadline is later on in 2027.
What about south, 513 and 175, that's Pelican. And I know they need some real help.
That's exactly right.
We got a fire department down there that can't even, you know what I'm saying? They can't, you can't reach them.
Yes, ma'am. And that's, you know, like I said, that comes in progress, and you know, this is, you know, preliminary. We're you know, we're designing stuff as we kind of go, and we're working off of the funding, you know, how the state funds, because they tell us where to go. You know, we don't say, hey, we want to go here. They tell us, hey, you have to be here. That's how.
To meet those deadline dates that
for
they have.
the funding, you know, and the funding when it comes. So when the funding comes, we have to build a certain area, buy connection so we have some out-of-pocket money that we're having to spend to get to these certain areas, and we get a reimbursement from the state at a later date for these areas. Now, I'm not saying that we won't build, you know, down in that area right now. We may, it may be after we get started, hey, we wanna hit this spot, it's easy, it's low hanging fruit, it's something that we wanna get, you know, hey, we can get real easy, we're gonna get funding for it later.
To come off of connectivity that we
Because
actually
I'm
even
trying to
have
see
built.
how the state choose what area to go to.
I have no idea, you would have to reach out to your.
Kinda from what I've even heard as well, low to no internet. They hit those areas with no internet, I think is a bigger priority per se, in the biggest part.
Well, I mean, what you saying, that, they low to no in, because you talking about the Lula Road,
You might be in a good
Benson
spot you're
area.
talking about,
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
might.
Yeah, and
Yes,
then you
ma'am.
come on over there to Pelican, they low and no internet too.
Yes.
Cause I own property down there, and you,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can forget it, you can't even get a cell call. So that's why I'm
Jones?
concerned about it.
Let me ask you, that with the Go Self money that's funded by the federal government and, through Beneath Anger, who's over that project? Okay.
Yes,
Same
Yeah,
thing.
so beneath would be, he is in charge of the broadband and the different areas or whatever. So we're working with Beneath in his office on multiple different grants and programs. So
Right.
it's not just one, there's several.
Right, Mike and I got a chance to sit in with them doing the Police Jury Association
That's exactly right.
and went into the meeting.
That's exactly right. And the stuff he was talking about was, the stuff that's coming up a little
Right.
later. This stuff is kind of, it's happening now, you
Right.
know. This is stuff that was put out 2 years ago. You know?
Yeah, well, 2 years ago, he came up here, and right now, they think they've been in Shreveport, Kettle Parish. May have been in Bossier, and I think now they're in the Zawala area.
Yes.
And we told him, said, man, we went down to the Police Association, said, man, why, you all around us, you know?
Yeah.
You came up here 2 years ago, told us we're gonna be getting it, you're gonna be
That's right.
gung-ho about it.
That's
but
right.
We hadn't seen you going all around us.
That's right. Well, we're here now.
It's getting close, real
All right.
close.
That'll work.
One more, I have seen activity in the South Parish, what you're talking about, a Pelican Broadband Company.
Pelican,
Internet is
okay,
down.
so Pelican is they're another broadband company, they're not associated with SWIFT.
Okay.
You know, I'm not, you know, I don't know if they have any particular funding for that area or whatever, I'm not real familiar with them, I just know that they're a broadband company.
Okay.
Like ourselves.
Okay, so they have to keep that broadband coming, obviously, cause it ain't worth the flip.
No, ma'am.
No, not necessarily, you know.
I
and-
know who
and-
you talking about.
I'm in a rural area myself where I live, and like I said, I've got Starlink, and it's good, but I pay a lot for it. I'd sure enough love for it to come to my
No,
rural
I'm
area.
concerned about Pelican, I'm concerned about the people in Ranchland Acres, I get calls from them.
Yeah,
They have a problem. So I'm just wanting everybody to have some internet.
what we hoping we can reach all rural American for sure.
All right, Mr. Johnson, you have a,
Yeah, I know y'all are mainly in the construction part of it, but do y'all have an idea of what kind of speeds we're looking forward to, or?
Yeah, so we've actually set in on a sales thing before. I'm not a salesman.
Right.
Yeah, and we looking at, you know, our first package is 100 meg for $50 a month.
Okay.
That's our, you know, package. 100 megs, common household, that's what they're gonna use, you know. Unless they're streaming a whole bunch or trying to do a whole bunch at one time, you know.
Yeah. Thank you.
okay, we appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
We will leave some cards here. We'll get on out of y'all's way, but we'll definitely leave cards. Taylor will more likely be the project manager here, one of us two, but since I'm in Natchitoches, Taylor will be. I had told him I'd left all my cards at the hotel, and he pulled a handful of my cards out, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave mine as well. So y'all do holler if you do have any questions for me.
Thank you
Jimmy,
for coming.
if I could, I sent the jurors an email today about the broadband meeting in Shreveport on April the 9th. So I'd encourage y'all to look at that email. Y'all can click on the link and register for that event. It's at 11:30 this Wednesday.
You said April the 9th?
Yes, sir.
All right, administrative items. Item number 4. Adopt a resolution authorizing the president to execute on behalf of the named of DeSoto Parish Police Jury, a contract for Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Administrative Services, a resolution authorizing the DeSoto Parish Police Jury President to execute on behalf and in the name of DeSoto Parish Police Jury, a contract for Louisiana Community Development Block Grant Engineer Services, and a resolution for the LCDBG program, and authorizing signatory authority to the President of the DeSoto Parish Police Jury. Do I have a motion?
No move.
Have a motion by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by Mr. Jones. Any comment? If not, we'll vote.
Is this the grant, is this what we talked about?
Mike,
Is the grant we talked about, a few weeks ago?
No, ma'am, I don't believe we talked about this one.
Okay, this is another,
our standard block grants we apply for year in and year out with the CDBG.
okay.
All right, motion passed. Item number 5, authorize Michael Norton as a local point of contact for the local ITEP committee. I think we want to make a alternate motion.
I would suggest an alternate motion just to authorize a resolution for Michael Norton.
All right, so alternate motion to authorize a resolution making Michael Norton the local point of contact for the local ITEP committee. Do I hear a motion? I'll make the motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
How many committees you on, Mr. North?
I'm on no committees.
Latham. This would just be for you to be the contact.
Yeah, contact.
ITEP could call you, and then you'd gather everybody together or give the information to, like, the sheriff, the school board, and the
Yes, sir.
police jury, right?
I'm not a committee member. I would not be serving as a
Just the
committee.
point of contact.
That's right. It's effectively what I'm doing right now for the police jury. They send that application to me, and I send it to all y'all. This will be the same thing, but it'll be to that ITEP committee.
Ms. Burrow, by statute, the president of the police jury actually sits on the committee by the statutory language, but you just have to designate somebody to receive the information on behalf of the police jury, to distribute, call meetings, things like that.
All right, any more discussion? Not vote? All right, motion passed. Item number 6, discuss bid process and contracts.
Okay, I put that on here, table one to pass it down, real big. I put this on the agenda, and it's because I had some concerns about, a contract we entered into. And when I, called and asked questions about it, I was told that this contract had been renewed. And I was wondering why we didn't know it as the jury. If we renew a contract for any reason, I wanna know it was renewed and why it was renewed. I want some information. I don't wanna just have to find out, cause I wouldn't never know anything if I hadn't called and asked when this was gonna go back out for bids. And this is what went out for bids when we hired this person. This is the letter, but I see they reserved the right to renew the contract, but on the other hand, we had some more stuff that wasn't inconsistent with, what they're saying, like the instructions to the builder. Okay, cause, if I was the person, the other people that's bidding, I would have a problem with this. Because I do know, I told y'all I was gonna keep up with this particular situation, and I got some problems that I really don't want to discuss openly in this meeting, but it need to be discussed because I had asked for, executive session to discuss the matter, and I never got it. But, like I said, we did some stuff that's totally opposite of what was sent out to all the builders, and that's not fair. This person here, it's some stuff that took place that shouldn't have. And then if this got renewed, then we should have known, Mr. Norton, that it was renewed.
Ms. Burrell, I don't even know what document you're talking about, because this is the first, I mean, I haven't seen what you're passing out to the jury, so I can't even comment
Okay,
on that.
on this in the landfill. In the landfill with,
Okay.
the scrap iron. And there's some stuff that's in this thing that went out, when it went out to the bid, that we supposed to honor, but it hadn't been being honored in the manner it was supposed to, cause I've been keeping up with it.
Okay, but again, I can't comment on something I haven't seen yet. I don't know what you're talking about.
I want
And,
my
and,
paper
and to
back.
be
I got
clear,
some notes
to
on
be
it.
clear, those did not go out to bid, they were quoted out because they are underneath the $250,000 requirement for bidding. So a quote is handled differently than bids. So if we're quoting them out and someone is not the low bidder on a quote and the jury chooses to go in relation to the scrap, it was the high bidder got it, not the low bidder, because it was the high bidder who won that because they're going to, buy the scrap from us for the most. So if the low bidder didn't get it and he's complaining, well, I mean, there's nothing I can do
No,
about it. I'm not gonna cancel the contract.
You saying that the low bidder bid and he complained. He didn't complain to me. I don't know. I'm going with when I asked for it, requested that. So therefore, I told y'all I was gonna keep up with it. And
Ms. Burrell,
and
I
did.
have no
knew that bid
context.
should've went up. It should went up again in February. I called to ask when is this going back out for bid. That's when I was told it wasn't going back out for bid, that y'all had renewed this contract with this same person, which I had a problem with because it was some situations that had taken place that shouldn't have been.
But Ms. Burrell, okay, this is the invitations for proposals. This isn't the contract. I'd have to look at the
I'm
contract.
talking about for proposal, but then in that proposal, if just say I'm gonna put a bid in there. I got one person called, said they didn't bid because some of the stuff in that proposal. Know what I'm saying? Like you got to be responsible.
Yeah,
for
I understand that, but
you-
it's the jury's responsibility to put out the appropriate information. You wouldn't put out something for a contractor who's not eligible to bid. You're gonna quote out something based upon the need that you have. Lily prepares all this stuff. I haven't even looked at the contract that you're talking about. I mean, you put on the agenda to discuss bid process and contracts. That's a pretty broad topic. I mean, I don't think this is something we need to handle in an open meeting.
Well, I tried to get
But-
an executive session to discuss it, but I never could. Remember, y'all kept putting it off and putting it off. I never did get.
Y'all, I have nothing to do with executive sessions. That's the president and this body who convenes executive sessions. So I'm not part of that, y'all, Miss Burrell.
Come on, Mr. Norton, come on now.
Your
I
bylaws say
know
the
you had some
president
influence
of,
in there somewhere. But, what I'm saying is what was sent out in that paperwork, like right there, where they telling you, do this bid, is telling you that you got to have, the builder must shall furnish labor, materials, tools, equipment, and transportation necessary.
okay?
That didn't happen. I mean,
You're
the person
saying-
that
you're
got the bid.
But you're saying that
did-
didn't happen. I can't prove whether that didn't happen or not. You're asking me to prove an unknown. So I don't know how to.
Yeah, I can prove it. It didn't, they did not provide all this stuff that y'all said they needed to provide.
Ms. Burrell,
with
I
transportation.
don't doubt that. But just because you say it doesn't make it so. You have to provide the proof. I don't have the proof. I would look into this, but I don't have what you're talking about. I can't
Well, I
can't comment
did,
on it.
and I brought it up, and I asked for executive session on it. I brought it up, and I had the proof then, Mr. Norton, you know what I'm talking about. Do you remember? When the same time I brought up why this person ain't been, it's also in here telling you that this should be paid in a monthly basis. That didn't happen either.
Why don't we,
Miss
why don't
Miss
we set
Burrell,
this up?
Why don't you get all of your proof together and then
We will set this up
request
as
from
a-
the president to have an executive
We have an
session?
executive session on this.
Because we're
I
getting
have no
nowhere with
objection
this.
to that whatsoever,
And,
but I can't comment on something
Okay,
you're talking
we'll-
about something that
we'll-
happened last year,
Ms.
Mr.
Just
Burrell?
schedule,
So you,
Would that be good? You get your proof and everything together and request Mr.
Yeah,
Jones
but
to.
all I'm saying, Mr. Norton know what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, that's good.
Great.
I
Maybe
just
it'll
wanted-
come to
so-
light.
So you have no idea what she was talking about, Mr. Norton?
I didn't say I have no idea. I said specifically she's citing contracts and she's
I just wanna
bringing
make
up
sure
some
you-
but
you
she's bringing up
understand
some
exactly what
language.
she's talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I know about what she's talking about. It's
That's
the
why I just wanna
scrap,
make sure.
it's the
Okay.
scrap metal issue out at the landfill, which I will say for her, she is persistent and she's been dogging that situation. You know, I'll give her credit. Miss Burrell is passionate about that, but I'm aware of that.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
want to make sure.
yeah,
Miss
yeah.
I'm
Simpson.
fine with that.
No, I was just, I was agreeing with you, so, for Ms. Burrell to get, the executive session, just reaching out to the president, because, and I'm just gonna ask this question. So, Mr. Norton, whenever we ask for an executive session, we don't go through you?
No, that's the president.
Go through the
sets it.
president, so
Yes.
we do go through the
I mean,
president to
y'all-
request
y'all-
an executive
y'all-
session?
I've had jurors call me, hey, I need to do an executive session, and I every time will say, you need to talk to the president. I have no authority on setting.
So you
executive-
didn't have that conversation with Ms.
I don't remember if I had that specifically
Okay.
with her.
Well, I'd like
All
to,
right,
I'd
I'm
Well,
bringing
I have no objection to
Y'all
that.
gonna
Okay,
remember
good.
when I brought it up, when I
Okay.
refresh your memories.
All right, okay.
to be clear, it's the president's agenda and he sets the executive session, but they run it by me because the law does not give you an unlimited right to set executive sessions. There's specified subjects and limits into which it can be set. So the president, it's his agenda, he can set an executive session, but the request is always run by me as well, because you can't set an executive session just on anything you want. There's specified statutory subjects on which a subject can be set.
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Can I get clarity on this? So you can, I mean, can anyone call for an executive session? Or it has to go to the president, what you saying?
I'll have to pull the bylaws, but I'm pretty sure the bylaw says it's the president's agenda and he places things on the agenda.
I'm not
But the
talking about
request
question
can be made to the president, but ultimately it's his agenda and he can set it and decide to put something on there or
I'm
not.
not talking about the regular, I mean, the regular meeting. I'm talking about like on a committee meeting. This is not the president's agenda.
Well, on the,
Person wanted to put it on here, could it be done? That's what I'm trying to get clarity.
I'd pull it, but I believe it's the committee chairs. Then.
So if you can't get an executive session, then what? You just supposed to let it fall by the wayside when you know something not right? Can you discuss it in open meeting? I
Then
just
you
want
just
to
bring
make
it out in
sure
the
I'm
public.
doing the right thing.
You just bring it out in the public then.
Yep, that's what
That's
I
why
do.
you can't get one, there's one way to get it out.
All right, let's move along. Item number 7, authorize the president to sign the agreement and sub-agreement for the state project number RU 18-16-26, Public Transportation Operating Assistance Program from the non-urbanized area of DeSoto Parish, Louisiana.
So move for discussion.
Motion by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by Ms. Simpson. Any discussion?
What exactly is that again?
For agencies, I'm sorry, Chairman, are you okay with me?
Yes, go ahead.
For agencies that participate in public transportation within DeSoto Parish, you have to have a resolution from the parish governing authority. The one that does it in here is the Council on Aging. They participate with DOTD for
Yes,
some grant funding.
Thank you.
So, yes, sir.
All right, any more discussion? Vote, please.
I didn't steal it. Sure, I got mine.
All right, motion passed. Item number 8, authorize the president to execute a resolution for Chesapeake, Louisiana LP requesting the DeSoto Parish Police Jury place for sealed bids with Louisiana Department of Natural Resources.
Explain it to me, Mr. Lloyd, right quick.
No motion yet.
Second. Motion.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Jones.
In order for us to start receiving revenue, we have to put it out for bid through the Department of Natural Resources. It has to be done by resolution.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, motion passed. Item number 9, authorize the president to sign a resolution to hire special counsel Timothy Hardy with Brazil, Sachet, and Wilson LLP to represent the jury as independent counsel. And that's for Dave Means et al. Litigation.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion by Mr. Raines,
Second.
second by Ms. Burrell. Any discussion on that? If not, vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 10, authorize the president to sign a resolution to hire special counsel Timothy Hardy with Brazil, Sachet, and Wilson LLP to represent the jury as independent counsel for environmental litigation. Is that correct?
He does consulting
Consulting?
work for like DEQ issues and things like that.
So move.
Second.
All right, have a motion by Mr. Baker, second by Ms. Burrell. Any discussion? Vote. Motion passed. Item number 11, appoint Cody Clark to the DeSoto Fire District Number 1 Board of Commissioners, replacing Jody Warren. Have a motion by Mr. Clark
Second.
and Ms. Simpson, second. Any discussion on that? If not, we'll vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 12, authorize the president to sign a resolution to hire special counsel Lawrence Marino and Searly Fontenot, Oates and Marino to represent the jury as independent counsel.
So move.
Second. All right, have a motion and a second.
What is this for?
Yeah, what these?
Some expropriation and right-of-way work that needs done in connection with the industrial park.
They are also the council that we used for the West Dell Bridge plantation.
Yes, they were, and they were very reasonable.
Yeah,
For the industrial park.
Parks Road project.
175.
Okay. Oh, they the one did the thing for that bridge, that thing. Okay, I got you.
All right, any more discussion? If not, vote. All right, motion passed. Item number 13. Approve waiving the tipping fee for Faith and Fostering, a nonprofit organization for disposal of some trees into the Mundy landfill burn pit.
So move.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, we'll vote on that. All right, motion passed. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms. Burrell, second.
Before we adjourn.
Before we adjourn?
I think this would be an appropriate time to allow some remarks by Mr. Cody Johnson or
Okay.
any remarks that y'all would like to do with him in the administrative committee meeting. Seems a good
All right,
place
go-
to do it.
That's fine.
First of all, I'm sorry, I should have did this before the meeting started, so I kind of dropped the ball on that one, so apologize, Mr. Justice. So first of all, I just want to say, in November, pretty unfortunate circumstances that Stacy or I, either one, are sitting in this seat with Mr. Parker passing away. So first of all, I want to tell y'all to continue to remember the Parker family in your prayers. Great people, love them to death. I want to say that thank you to the ones, and thank you to everybody for accepting me. Mr. Norton, you have been fantastic. You do a great job, and I think that I think the public sees it, and that's all I can say about you. But no, you do a great job. Mr. Ross was the president when I took over last year. Mr. Jones come in. Y'all both y'all stayed in contact with me. Anything I had questions about or anything, y'all would always help me, along with other jurors as well. So I want to thank y'all both personally for that. Y'all have both done great jobs as president so far that I see, and I know the parish is in good hands with you two. Mr. Clark, I want to tell you in my election cycle this past couple of weeks, when I visit somebody, if they want to complain about their road or anything like that, one of the first things I would ever tell them was, well, have you made the police jury aware? And 99.9% of the time is no. You should know what my road looks like, you know. And I have told people numerous times, I think there's only one thing that you and I couldn't fix. I think it was too much of an ask. But other than that, I want to let everybody in this room know that everything I've called in and every resident that had an issue with anything, you were there to fix it within sometimes the next day, maybe a couple days. So I do want to give you recognition on that. I know I didn't work closely with a lot of you in the room for very long, but I want to thank everybody for accepting me with open arms. And I do want to make a couple comments. I do have to clear some things up. And so during the election, I got phone calls of people calling. I'll go ahead and throw under the bus a little bit. Calling the registrar's office, stating that to be on the lookout for me taking people to polls. First of all, and I don't want this to sound bitter in no way, guys. This is not me being bitter. This is something, if I'm going to be accused of something and get several phone calls on it, I think I need to address it. I got several phone calls, or the registrar's office got at least one phone call about me possibly taking people to the polls. First of all, that's illegal. Second of all, that's not something I do. That's not something I will do. In my 15-plus years of public service experience and 4 personal elections and a tax election, it's not something I do. So I want each and every one of y'all to know that. Second of all, there was a text message sent out to at least one person in my district, and the text message read, "Be sure to remind everybody you know in Stacey Justice District to go vote for him. I hear Jerry Burrell is carrying people to vote for Cody Johnston." So I do want to say, Ms. Burrell, publicly, did I employ you, hire you, or ask you in any way to take people to the polls for me?
Babe, no, I ain't took nobody to the poll.
So she answered my next question. So-
Oh, no, but I remember Jerry Wilson for slander. That's not true. I ain't took nobody to the poll.
So that was sent to me by a friend on election. He didn't send it on election day, and I'm not saying this to throw you under the under the bus, Mr. Holmes, but that text message was sent by you to somebody in my district. And I'm not saying that to be backbiting or anything else. All I would say is that I know from the outside looking in, and now I am a citizen, just like the people out in the audience today. I just want to say that sometimes the most bright light isn't shine on the police jury. and that goes for any public servant, that goes for any board. All I would say is if we all treat each other like peers, and Mr. Justice, I'll get to you in a minute, but if we'd all treat each other like peers, if there's a question of anything that somebody might be doing, because if I was to hire her to take people to the polls, or if she was doing it on her own goodwill, I mean, that would have to be a discussion, because there's laws that says that if I hire her to go, I have to pay her, and I have to pay her on record, and all those things. So I had to clear that up for my own sanity, I guess, or maybe even for legal reasons. So I just wanted to clear those two things up. Now, Mr. Justice, I think we talked about it the night of the appointment. I think it's well known that you and I have known each other for over 30 years. Your wife, Suzanne, she's been a friend of mine for a long time, and her younger brother is one of my best friends on this planet. I don't think there's too many elections where people can say that a person and their opponent were drinking coffee together the morning of the election, but me and Stacy can say that. We was drinking coffee together, and he bought, by the way. Thank you for that. Anyways, I think y'all are going to be in great hands. Once again, this was a seat that my grandfather filled for a lot of years, and I've taken much pride in sitting in this seat for the last 5 months. It has been a point of pride in my life to say I've sat in the same chair as him. Maybe not the same chair. This one doesn't feel like he was in it, but that's a point of pride for me, and it's a point of pride for all the kind words that each one of y'all that shared time with him on this jury have shared with me. Y'all are definitely, y'all miss him about as much as I do sometimes, I believe. And, but he was definitely one of a kind, and I think that these short 5 months that I've been on this jury, I think he would have been proud. So with that being said, thank you to each and every one of y'all. Appreciate everything you've done for me. And I think that once Mr. Stacy comes up here and takes his spot, that he's going to do a fantastic job, not only for the parish, but for our district too. So thank each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much.
Can I say something? Mr. Holmes?
Yep.
Jerry Ray don't take people to the poll to vote for nobody. Don't nobody hire Jerry Ray to take people to the poll. I am the vice president of Northwest Voters League Association. And we do encourage people to get out and vote. I am also part of Black Voters Matter. And we do get out and encourage people to go vote. Not for no particular candidates and this, that, and the other as being stated. I just want to get y'all straight with it, because next time I hear that lie, I'm going to have a problem.
Okay. Mr. Cody, on behalf of the police jury, I want to thank you for serving. You stepped in for your father very admirably, and we appreciate the job that you've done.
Thank you.
And we wish you well, and come back and see us. Don't be a stranger. Come on and see us now.
I can't wait to get out of here tonight. No, but thank you all. Stacy, if you want to come, I think before the next committee, I may have to sit here for the adjournment of the administrative.
Yeah, we had a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
They're going to want me to get out and encourage these folks to go vote. So I better not send for no tax. Yes, for the tax, because that wouldn't be proper. See?
You gotta go.
Play with me, I'm free.
Going out the back.
All right.
Welcome aboard.
Guess I'm up next. Budget and Finance Committee. I call the Budget and Finance Committee to order. Call for any additions or deletions. There's just a change. It's an alternate motion need to be made on item 1, and that is the dollar amount of $7,400 needs to be added to that motion when we get to it.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion by Richard Fuller.
I'm not on that one.
You're not on that committee.
Second.
Committee.
Who made it?
Clark.
Mr. Fuller made the motion, right, Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
I make a
And then
motion.
Mr. Ross made the second?
Me and Mr. Clark.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call vote of the Finance Committee. Rodriguez,
Aye.
Mr. Fuller,
Aye.
Bubba Clark,
Aye.
Ms. Simpson,
Aye.
and I vote aye. That motion is changed for item 1. Any other additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, any guest or public comments? Budget and finance items, number 1. This will read amend the budget by $7,400 to recommend allowing the employees of the coroner's office to be added to our insurance at open enrollment.
I move.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Fuller, second by Mr. Ross. Any discussion?
Yes, sir. I just be confused. What the current coroners, do we pay their salaries? Well, I'm trying to see what the coroner's office pay. Nothing?
Well, we pay, we have the coroner's budget, so we pay for the coroner's people and everything else,
Insurance.
Okay, so,
just like their parish employees, and I don't know why they're not on the insurance already, so,
okay, I mean, they don't have no budget. We just pay for all this.
well, they have a budget that we appropriate for them to work under.
They're not.
Do they, your basic question
So
is,
we add
they,
this to the budget?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I just want to get
Okay.
clear understanding of what's happening.
Any other discussion? Y'all please vote now. Motion passes. Discuss vending machines at the road department and landfill.
Okay, I put that on there.
Okay.
I was asked by some, that's
I
right.
move.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I have a motion by Mr. Fuller. Who do I have a second by?
Second.
The second by Ms. Simpson. What is the discussion about vending machines, Ms. Burrell?
Okay, the vending machines, I was, asked by some of the employees, and I can understand, what they saying, cause I used to work construction and stuff. And like the men at the road department, they might wanna grab them a soda or a bag of chips, just hold them over till lunch. I wanna provide them with vending machines at the road department and the landfill, so if they need an extra little boost to hold them over, I like to have those vending machines in there so they can grab them a bag of chips or now what's gonna be done with the money that's made, I don't know. The parish has to decide that, but I would like to provide that, cause if I'm driving the truck and I'm finna jump in that truck and I need to go to Stonewall, I like to be able to grab me a Coke, get stopping there from having to stop at a convenience store or whatever.
Mr. Baker, I'm not on this committee. I'm sorry, Ms. Burrell, we finished? Mm-hmm. The contact at Coke, and they will send a vending machine out here. They don't charge us anything. They just take commissions from, the purchases out of the machine. So if you'd like, I can get someone to come down here this week and discuss, what they can do.
Yeah, please, give me the contact information. I've reached out to, I think it's Whitmore or Wilmore Vending. Wilmore used to have the vending machines out there. I asked them, why did we pull them out? This was done in like 2016 or 2018, so long ago. But they said they removed them. Number one, it was removed by request of the road superintendent the first time because the machines were taking money and the employees weren't getting reimbursed. But the ones at the landfill, they removed them because they were not being used enough. Now, they are currently, I've asked them if they would entertain bringing vending machines back out, and they've said the landfill is going to be difficult because it's a justification. You have to spend so much to justify putting a machine out there. Now, Coke, I haven't talked to people at Coke, but Wilmore said the road department is likely they can put a food and drink machine out there. It would not cost anything for us. We would not get any money off of this either. We would basically supply them a space to do that. But they're going to get back with me. I've made a request from them to look at doing that, but it's not their baseline is you have to have 45 to 50 employees on site all the time to justify their expense of having the machine out there. They could probably get away with doing that at the road department, but he told me it's not likely at the landfill. But their salesman is still looking into that for us, so.
Okay, we don't nothing fail but a try.
Yes, ma'am?
I mean, can you find someone that doesn't require that many people?
Yeah, Wilmore is the only one I knew of, and Robbie's, if Coke's, I don't know if Coke does, drink and snacks, but if Coke will do it, I have no objection. I really don't.
What if we had the landfill and it's out? That would be enough. I'd like to see them with a vending machine.
But I've reached out. We'll have something.
Any other discussion? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. We're adjourned.
Road committee called order. Any call for additions and deletions? Being none, any guests and public comments on the road items? Road item. Approve the E911 naming of CR private lane offer 175.
RC.
Excuse me, yeah, RC private lane offer 175. Do I have a motion? Got a motion by Mr. Fuller? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was that, Mr. Clark? Oh, Mr. Holmes, I'm sorry. So I got a motion and a second for discussion. There's no discussion, please vote. Oh yeah, Mr. Stacy, you is on this committee. Thank you. Motion passes. Item 2, adopt the ordinance 2 of 2025 establishing a maximum speed limit of 20 miles per hour on the East and West K. John, 4B district. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Fuller. Do I have a second from the road committee?
Second.
A second by Mr. Justice. Discussion?
What is the speed limit now?
Probably, it's not one, probably.
Is that your district?
No, Mr. Burrell.
No.
Yes, that's my district.
Do you know what the speed limit is current? Probably nothing. Probably nothing in place.
Is that a neighborhood or? That's-
Yeah,
It's
neighborhood.
just neighborhoods?
Yeah.
Yeah, they residential neighborhoods and they be getting it down.
Yeah, they're 2 dead-end roads, I think.
Dead end
Right.
roads?
Yeah, and they dead end roads.
Both of 'em.
One remaining, if there's no more discussion.
Excuse me, are you doing both of them? East K and West K? Okay.
Cause they like turnaround roads.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry, I probably
Y'all
read
know
that
how the
one. Thank you.
children doing now. It's out of control.
Probably somebody lives on that street.
Like Kyle Porter.
And, cause, they also, the resident told me that, yeah, like Kyle Porter, the resident,
That's a run down.
saying that, the sheriff department can't write him no ticket cause ain't no speed limit. So,
Ain't no speed
for
limit
them
there.
to be able to catch them and write them tickets, when we have to have a speed limit. Now, it's the same thing, what Stagecoach just called and asked for some speed limits out there. And I went out there and checked it out, and I almost got plied down by one of them 18 baby. They was rolling. I know he had to be doing at least 65.
To answer your question, the posted speed limit, the speed limit is standard 35. So we just don't have any posted signs, which is probably what the sheriff's department's talking about.
Yeah,
so.
they have to have a posted sign out there. Then they can do the tickets.
Okay, we got one remaining.
Mr. Fuller.
Motion passes. Item 3, authorize the president to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with Watchman Strong Tower LLC for a construction of DOTD required left lane turn on US Highway 171. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Got a motion by Mr. Lathan. I second. Discussion.
Yes, where is that?
Wasn't somebody supposed to be here
This
to?
is in Stonewall.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Michael can give you all a rundown
I
on
got
this.
several calls about that, and I had talked to Michael concerning it, and he can explain. I would need him to explain it to y'all like he explained it to me, so everybody have a clear understanding what's taking place.
This is a location where a new compactor site's gonna be, and DOT is gonna require us to put a left turn lane at the crossover right, at Memory Lane. And then the Watchman Strong Tower is gonna be building a facility right there by the Water Moccasin Outdoors. And they're required to have a turn lane at the Twin Oaks crossover. So our two turn lanes are gonna overlap, so to prevent either one of us from having any rework or doubling up on efforts, we're gonna work together and build them together. We're gonna pay for 100% of our portion, they're gonna pay for 100% of their portion. Theirs is a little bit smaller, cause they're kinda tagging on to the end, so they're gonna have a little smaller, financial obligation. But, everybody's paying 100% of their portion of the turn lane.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Any more discussion? If none, please vote. Motion passes. Item 4, authorize the president to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with the DeSoto Parish Board for the purpose of constructing and maintaining bus turnarounds within the parish as needed.
So move.
Got a motion by Mr. Fuller,
Second.
second by Mr. Holmes. Discussion. This is something that on a yearly basis for the school board, right, for the bus turnarounds.
Yeah, the jury is, over the years, y'all will put it on the agenda, hey, let's build a turnaround here, we'll do this, but we've never had an agreement, and we've never had a resolution. This went back, and we looked at all the minutes, going back probably to the 90s, and putting it in a resolution, and putting a CEA to the school board. They only pay for the material costs. We provide the labor and the equipment whenever we're building or repairing turnaround pads.
So these turnarounds are as needed?
Yes, ma'am. They make the request of us. They send the school board sends it to us wherever they need a turnaround pad.
Oh.
Mostly like on dead-end streets.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
that's my mindset.
You got one, Trina, right now in your thing. They thought it was mine. I just told me it's yours.
Where is
Up
it at?
here on what's the little road across from the airport?
Bailey Lane.
Bailey Lane.
It's
Okay.
when you go up there and the bus gets stuck every time.
Okay.
They go in there, and I got one in Northern Hill, so I agree with that totally, cause it's much needed.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a CEA with another agency to do this kind of work, and we've never had one. This makes this everything, all we're doing legal.
So, okay, so I guess my next question, when parents reach out to the school board in turns with the CEA with us, they provide the materials and we do the labor?
We provide the materials, they just reimburse us for the cost of the materials.
Okay, so how do we get this in motion? For example, if I am needing one in this area, it's not on my end to say anything.
Well,
Trying to find
their
out.
superintendent, Mr. Larry Hall, contacts us and says, hey, we have to have a turnaround lane.
That's where I'm talking, okay.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
And it mostly comes from the bus driver, letting him know that we're having a hard time turning this bus around in this area, so we need to
So
do
the
something.
bus driver.
Yeah, then sometimes the bus driver called me and I told him.
Okay.
So I called Larry. Know what I'm saying? And
I got
Larry-
you.
okay.
Thank you. That's all I needed to do.
There's no more discussion, please vote.
Hall will hear from you tomorrow.
Motion passes. Item 5, accept Henderson Lane into the DeSoto Parish road system. Limits defined from the intersection of Highway 171 and follow west along the existing alignment, 265 feet, to be continuous on the dedication of a 60-foot right-of-way for public use in the acquainted right-of-way for a turnaround. This here is in the Kickapoo area. Do I have a motion? I'll make the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it for discussion.
Got a second from
Okay.
Mr. Lathan.
Whose area is this?
That's my area.
Okay.
And this is the road, the street I've been trying to get a curve, a larger thing and widen it out, cause right now, you can't even hardly get one little car. And these people didn't even have 4, 5 accidents right there, because it's so small. No one, he was telling me that they couldn't see where, but Miss Tom, you ought to be familiar, cause it was in your district. And, he said they couldn't see where the parish had taken in this road, but they've been maintaining it, cause they just put an overlay on it, maybe a year or so ago.
Oh, that's the road we talked about recently?
Yeah, the parish been maintaining, in my understanding, if they maintained it 4+ years, it's our road anyway. But it's got a street name on it, street sign, it's been overlaid. Far as I'm concerned, it's already our road, but he say we got to bring it in because they couldn't find no paperwork. I ain't got no problem with it, but I do know, and this little road couldn't be no long and hardly.
Well, actually, 205 foot. You got 60 foot of right of way for the state.
Yeah. 200. And, somebody gonna get killed there, cause we talking about 171, and them trucks rolling when they come through that light in Kickapoo. And the light green, they ain't breaking no speed, and you got somebody trying to turn in that little driveway, cause it's really a driveway. It ain't big enough hardly for one little car. And like I say, they already had 4 or 5 accidents there, and I just don't want to see nobody get killed right there, cause it's gonna happen eventually if we don't widen it out, and so them people can go and turn up in that driveway.
I've drove by that road multiple times. I've always thought it was a private driveway, and it is overlaid. And I have no problem with widening the road out and overlaying it if it's a parish road, but I think the question is it a parish road or not?
It is
Well,
not, it
that's-
is not in our road system, no, sir. But we did do an overlay.
I've been
in-
driving by that road for the past 20-something years, and
And it
I've
has a
always thought it
green
was a driveway.
parish sign up there, say Henderson Lane.
Right.
Yeah, so if there's no more discussion, would you please vote?
Not in our road system?
No.
That's what we're doing here.
That's why
trying
this
to
will
put in
take
the
it,
road
bring it in
system.
the road system so we can make any improvements.
And, you know, fair to the residents, they don't have anything to do with our business down here. It's not their fault that we can't find anything. But the road have been worked.
We've
by
been
our-
working on the road?
Right.
Yep.
For over a year?
Well, probably more than a year.
More than a year.
Then we should take it in.
It's got new asphalt on it that we did it.
We should take it in.
But it's just not fair to the residents
No, it's
there.
not.
They don't have anything to do with what we have going on down here in the office.
Not like it's a mile long.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, motion passes. Item 6, approve the E911 naming of Orchard Private Lane off Price Street in Logansport.
I move. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a motion by Mr. Clark. Motion by Mr. Holmes.
Yeah.
I second.
Can't even think of it.
Any discussion? There's no discussion. If there's no discussion, please vote. One remaining.
Mr. Latham.
Motion passes. Motion to adjourn,
Make a
Road
motion.
Department. Got a motion by Mr. Holmes, second by Ross. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
We adjourn.
Solid Waste Committee will come to order. Call for any deletions or additions. Hearing none, any guest or public comments? Solid waste item. Authorize the president to sign a resolution authorizing the furnishing for use of open-top containers to DeSoto Parish residents under certain circumstances.
So move.
Yeah.
Motion, and I have a second. Any discussion?
Yes, sir, can you tell us what changed, what you?
Well, nothing's changed. What we did was we put in a resolution to adopt this, to have a policy related to your open tops. I was asked a couple months ago if we would do research and to look at all the minutes that y'all have taken over the years. And this, you remember this came up because there was one of our open top containers was used by a business, and it was being used by a business, which we pulled it that day. So that got resolved. But this, your minutes state over the years, and this dates back to early 1990, I think 93 or 94, when y'all took some action on putting this program in place. It was always intended for residents, non-commercial use. So this gives us the guidelines, consistent with all the minutes that y'all created over the years. So I sent those to Jennifer. Jennifer came up with a resolution for us, and I reviewed it. I mean, it's consistent. It doesn't change your current policy. It just makes sure that we're following it.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
I got one, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm looking under the certain circumstances, and I'm just asking this number 3 where it says, whereas that any one resident be limited to 2 3-day emergency uses within a 52 weeks. So I'm saying that it's 52 weeks in a year. And
6 days.
if I have an emergency, I'm only limited to 2 times. So what if I have a third emergency, another tornado, some come in?
Then that would probably have to go before the jury
Well, let me say, this was my doing. I'll own that completely, because you're limited to one open container per police juror. So I guess the lawyer in me was concerned that if you had multiple people, there was an issue in the past. I don't believe it. Michael did a lot of research and sent me a lot of materials about minutes and where things had happened. But I recall being present here where there was an issue with a certain time where there were an open container that kept being used by one individual, and so there was a problem in that district with other people in that district getting the container. So this policy right here, basically it's automatic for the person to receive it under these conditions. But if there's other conditions, like you just said, if someone had a bad enough luck to need 3 emergency container uses in 52 weeks, it would just come here to be approved and not just automatic to that police juror, because you only have 1 open container per district.
Okay, so let me, I'm understanding that, let's just, God forbid, they have a third emergency and everything's destroyed. So they have to come through the office to get it or through us to get it? Where are
I
they
would tell you
going?
what I would do in that scenario. I
Please.
would give them the emergency open top and then ask forgiveness in that situation.
Please do.
Because honestly,
Please.
you can't police every situation. You can't anticipate every situation.
Well-
So, I mean, but that is, if that happened, that's what I would do as your administrator. And if one of y'all had an issue with it, y'all would have to call an executive session and scold me for that. But that's what I would do.
No, man,
Okay,
we're
you
here for the
said one
citizens, man.
open
I mean, I was just
container.
asking.
Oh, no. The issue was that in the past, though, I recall there being an issue with a particular person in a district kept getting the container. So that prevents everybody else in the district from being able to get it.
So no more spring cleaning is what we're saying.
I mean, that was the issue. It was trying to be fair and equitable to everybody in the district, not just one person.
Okay, so me needs something, this just me, needed something to come past that to state that if they call you and we done had a tornado and they destroyed and they not thinking of, they just need to start cleaning this up, that they won't be given have to fill out
No, there's-
several forms.
No,
something.
it's a phone call to the landfill to do that, and they'll if it's outside the scope of the policy, they would call me, or they would call a juror. That's typically what they do. Hey, I need this, and y'all would say,
Okay.
make it happen.
It's just-
This is, again, you can't
Certain
anticipate
circumstances.
everything.
Yeah, you
There's-
can't. So I just want to make sure that it's that we have that little leniency in there.
And in all honesty, I think when y'all first were working on this, y'all didn't have that many open top containers. We have a little bit more right now, and this keeps it equitable to everyone in all the jurisdictions if they need it. We can handle those, but this puts it in writing. Yes, sir, Mr. Fuller.
Now, I was just gonna say, I don't think it needs to be. Because again, you have the public, they're the one paying for these dumpsters, with this tax.
No, I understand that, sir. My point is, it was all the other members of the public were suffering in the past because you had fewer containers and there was an issue with them being retained by certain individuals too long.
You
So
don't penalize everybody just because one person did something. Again.
I'm not trying to penalize everybody. I'm trying to give everybody a fair shot at them.
That's not.
You're the body, you do whatever you want. I'm just trying to write a policy consistent with past issues and past approvals that this body did. So it's presented for you to review, to modify and change and do whatever you like. Sometimes your policies are done orally, sometimes they're done inconsistently in the past. I just look at the body of all the information that I have and try to give the best guess as to what you want. And that's why it's presenting for you to review and approve or disapprove or modify as you see fit.
This my concern, cause I got a large district. And if I got somebody in Grand Cane where trees that fell through the house, and I got this person over here, just say in Magnolia, somewhere over here in the same part of my district, that the house caught on fire and they trying to clean the debris so they can move in or do a new house. That's two. So you saying we can't have but one at a time? That's I'm trying to get a clear understanding because that ain't gonna work. I thought you can get them for emergencies or whatever, and they keep them for so many days, and they have to turn them in. Cause most of the time, most open containers that I give my residents, they don't even have them the amount of days. They be calling me saying, Miss Red, they can pick up the container. Know what I'm saying? And
Policy shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I think, emergencies are kind of a different
Right,
situation.
Emergencies are the
Different-
exception. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
the
an
rule.
exception.
well, I'm just
Storms,
trying to
things
make
come
sure.
through, people have to clean up, and that's a
Yep.
given. And we should provide the things that they need to clean up.
The non-emergency use period was 2 weeks in this policy.
'Cause I just want to make sure, cause I want to know what to tell these people when they calling, cause
I mean, we represent the people, y'all. We're here for the people. The people
Yeah,
need a dumpster.
I'm like Mr.
We get it done. We just try to make sure people don't take advantage of the dumpsters. That's it. But like I said, putting these kind of policies, you don't have to politicize everything in the world. Just do what you need to do to take care of the people. We want to put a policy behind everything.
Well, these were your policies. This 95% of this policy or better comes from policy that you've already passed, but sometimes they're not always clear or consistent with each other, and that is a concern among this body sometimes. So we're just trying to get them down in a manner that you want. And again, this is just based on the past policies and conducts of the police jury.
I mean, cause it's been a time where I remember Stonewall had that big storm, and people was calling down here, but they had the big storm. I ain't had no problem. I just tell them, well, baby, the containers in Stonewall right now, they had a big storm. You gonna have to wait. You just have to wait till they get one open. That's how I do. See what I'm saying? Cause I ain't got no problem. It's been a big storm somewhere in whoever district or area it is. I want them to have first preference.
Now, I've had out a compact dumpster, and the guy had it for 2 weeks. And I went by to see, wasn't nothing in it. You've had it 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
nothing in it. And see, that's the kind of thing too, we have to,
Yeah.
I mean, you get it, then you holding it up from someone else. So,
If Edna called me
I
and
told him
said,
if he can
"Miss
use it
Brill,
now, we gonna have somebody pick it up,
through
man.
with that dumpster on such and such search," and they say ain't nothing, I'm gonna call them myself. They ain't
Yeah.
got to call them.
Yeah, I'll
Look,
call 'em, tell 'em
we
come
gave
pick
you
that
ample
up.
enough time. You not finished with Dom, send somebody to pick it up cause somebody else need it.
Right.
That, as a jury, that's my responsibility.
Right. Better enough for this dumpster.
Wait a minute, am I on that committee?
Mr. Baker?
Where we at?
Huh?
What's your name?
I'm just reading.
Where we at?
Any further discussion?
No, sir.
Really?
Y'all please vote now. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
So
So
moved.
move. Second.
Third.
Motion in the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank y'all for coming.
Oh, that was that one. I was like, wait a minute, this one.
I didn't have a clue.
I didn't have a clue until about 5 minutes before the meeting.
Y'all, like our station.
Oh, yeah, that's, oh, they're there, oh, they're there already? Oh, man, it came on,
If it's under $250,000, you only have to get.
Oh, man.
Then you can probably bid it out.
Oh,
Yeah, you might find some.
oh, okay. I gotta give you a donation next time I get paid.
You the man. You want these? Or do you have their contact information? You get their card?
Okay.
You know what kind of shape it is? It's 100.
Oh.
Today is 7.
He cleaned the one on me.
Oh, how's the medical? I see the little bills and it looks so nice.
And you went up there up on the power farther in when you played.
I heard.
And it's funny that a guy cleans his one car. You talked about it. And I told you all the cases, the man with the shovel.
On
The man was on his little tractor.
download the scan and pay my money next week or
That road, now you know
cash or check.
Get out there next door.
Okay.
The one just passed.
Thank you. Okay. And then I had company.
Tell him not
I was like, no, I couldn't. But I was watching, I think, coffee shop. Yeah. All right, thank you. I can't wait till y'all get y'all first little patient in there.
that is too old.
Yeah. Take care.